Audio Jungle.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's visit to New York last week was an embarrassing reality check where police officers outnumbered fans, a royal expert said. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex met New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and New York State Governor Kathy Hochul during the trip last week. However, ex-Sun royal editor Charlie Ray told Talk Radio that the Sussexes' star is waning. He said, "This is not a royal tour, this is a glorified tourist visit." Mr. Ray added, 3 days in New York, and I think some of the media are getting overexcited. There are hardly any crowds there in any of the photos. There are more NYPD officers than anyone else. They are meeting dignitaries and staying at the lavish Carlisle Hotel, but it is not a royal tour. They no longer have royal duties. Radio host Peter Cardwell asked, "Do you think the American public know who they are, care who they are, or is their star waning a little bit?" Ray added, "I think their star is waning a little bit, particularly in the UK. In the US, I think they are still quite popular. The Americans have always wanted their own royal family." Harry and Meghan conducted the 3-day visit to attend last night's Global Citizen live concert in Central Park, a campaign for worldwide vaccine equality. They also met with UN Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed, despite not having a diplomatic role. The Sussexes also spoke with United States Ambassador to the UN Linda Thomas-Greenfield, who gushed about the pair. She tweeted, "Wonderful meeting with Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Important discussion of COVID, racial justice, and raising mental health awareness." But the pair were criticized for reportedly taking a private jet home to California at the end of their visit. Archie and newborn daughter Lilibet stayed home on the West Coast. Royal author Angela Levin last week slammed Harry and Meghan as a lame attempt to be a woke alternative to the royal family. She also said Prince Harry is jealous of William and now keen to take part in as many pseudo-royal engagements as possible. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made their first public debut in New York this week, but their outing was a wasted opportunity according to columnist Daniela Elzer. The Duke and Duchess visited the Big Apple and kicked things off by visiting the 9/11 Memorial and One World Trade Center on Thursday. There they met with New York Governor Kathy Hochul, the city's Mayor Bill de Blasio, National September 11th Memorial and Museum President Alice Greenwald and Bloomberg Philanthropy CEO Patricia Harris. But Ms. Elzer claims that despite the importance of visiting the memorial and organizing a meet with several influential figures, the pair were only there to sell themselves to the United States as royals. Wanting to pay their respects at the site where thousands of people lost their lives is one thing, planning an event that involved 2 photo calls is entirely another, she wrote in her column for News. Elzer also highlighted that Harry and Meghan have no diplomatic standing or roles and no longer represent the crown and dubbed their visit as a makeshift royal tour. She continued, "It is now 18 months since the Duke and Duchess arrived in the US and the COVID pandemic, along with Meghan's second pregnancy, would seem to have delayed their ability to fully launch themselves onto the American market as public figures. This New York trip, however, can be considered the opening move in their campaign to establish their new, shiny stateside public identities and to try to carve out a place for themselves in the national firmament. To take part in a visit with no clear or definable philanthropic goal aside from ensuring a volley of images making them look royal." The expert went on to comment on Meghan's change in outfits for the couple's next appearance at the UN meeting. "The fact is, her switching up her, truly sublime, ensemble ensured that there were 2 sets of distinct photos from their day, thus potentially ensuring more press coverage and more sets of images for the media to pore over," she said. "After only 1 day, it has felt less like a monarchical outing and more like a marketing opportunity. All of which is a damn shame." Meanwhile, Queen Maxima of the Netherlands was also in the city and at the UN and on the same day as Harry and Meghan's outings, taking part in discussions focusing on women's digital financial inclusion in Africa, mentioned Elzer. She suggested that Meghan, who is an advocate for gender equality, should have joined Maxima and used her influential platform to bring attention to an issue that affects hundreds of millions of lives. She added, "That is the incredible power that Meghan possesses, a power that she is currently squandering while she and Harry take themselves off on their self-styled royal tour." After all of this, what is so strange is that when the Sussexes quit as full-time working members of the royal family they said they wanted to carve out a progressive new role, and yet their new roles look curiously like knockoff copies of their old ones, all shaking hands with officials and posing for photos before it's off to the next meeting. I'll leave you with this thought: the US is also home to 2 other siblings of future monarchs, namely Princess Madeleine of Sweden and Princess Martha Louise of Norway. Neither spends their time trying to pass themselves off as something which they are not. Instead they are both women with jobs, families and charitable interests, all of which they managed to do without having to alert Good Morning America.